2016, Instagram did something that should have destroyed its reputation forever. They didn't innovate. They didn't invent. They walked into Snapchat's house, photographed the blueprints, walked back home, and built an exact replica. Instagram Stories was, by every honest assessment, a direct, unapologetic clone of Snapchat Stories. The tech press called it shameless. Snapchat CEO called it flattery. Silicon Valley called it desperate. And Wall Street called it genius. And they were right. Hello, I'm Todd Hagopian, the original Stagnation Assassin. Today we're opening the vault on Instagram's 2016 launch of Stories, the most brazen feature clone in tech history. And we're going to look and see if it was a strategic slaughter or a stagnation suicide. Because in the war on stagnation, originality is overrated and execution is everything. The stagnation score here, Instagram's pre-move stagnation score, 6 out of 10 for corporate cancer. Now, Instagram wasn't dying, but it was decaying. Here's the data. I'm going to be honest, objective, and transparent here. Teens were fleeing Instagram for Snapchat. Snapchat was growing at 40 to 50% year over year. Instagram's growth was decelerating. The platform was becoming a polished museum, curated photos, filtered perfection, while Snapchat was where real, raw, messy life was happening. Instagram had a profit parasite attaching itself to its user base, and it was called posting anxiety. People stopped sharing because everything had to be so perfect. Snapchat solved that with disappearing content. Instagram was watching its future audience vanish, one snap at a time. Let's look at the tactical audit. What Instagram did next was a textbook application of the Karelin method. And for those who don't know, Alexander Karelin was a Greco-Roman wrestler who won 887 matches in a row. He didn't win with finesse, he won with relentless, unconventional, and overwhelming force. He picked 300-pound men up off of the mat and slammed them back into the earth. That's exactly what Instagram did to Snapchat. They didn't try to out-innovate Snapchat. They didn't try to differentiate. They actually just went in and cloned the feature, plugged it into an existing distribution network of 500 million users, and crushed Snapchat's growth trajectory within months. Snapchat's user growth went from a rocket ship to a rowboat almost overnight. Now, let's layer in the 80-20 matrix. Snapchat had dozens of features: Discover, Memories, Lenses, custom geo filters, a confusing interface that was quote unquote cool because only teenagers could navigate it. Instagram looked at all that chaos and extracted the vital 20%, the stories format itself, and left the 80% of complexity behind. They stripped the concept to its core, made it intuitive, and deployed it on the most powerful distribution platform in social media. But let's look at the hindsight homicide, and it cuts both ways. For Snapchat, their fatal flaw was arrogant architecture. Evan Spiegel reportedly turned down a $3 billion acquisition from Facebook in 2013. He believed his product was defensible. He believed the audience was loyal. He confused cultural relevance with competitive moat. He had no moat. He had a feature, and features get cloned. For Instagram, their flaw was dependency. The clone worked because Facebook owned distribution. But that dependency on a parent company's ecosystem meant that Instagram never had to build its own competitive instinct. When TikTok showed up 5 years later with a genuinely new format, Instagram scrambled again, and Reels was a much uglier copy job than Stories ever was. They got addicted to the clone playbook and forgot how to create. So the verdict here, I'm giving Instagram Stories 4 kills out of 5. This was a calculated clone conquest, ruthless, efficient, devastating. Instagram obliterated Snapchat's growth story, consolidated the ephemeral content market, and bought itself another half decade of dominance, all without a single original idea. That's not shameless. That's strategic slaughter with surgical precision. Sorry. It misses the fifth kill because borrowed tactics create borrowed time, and TikTok proved that. That's the autopsy. Remember, in the war on stagnation, originality without execution is just a hobby. Execution without originality, that's a business. Head to toddhagopian.com and grab the unfair advantage. Also visit stagnationassassins.com for the full arsenal of stagnation tools. And please remember, continue to declare war on stagnation every single week with us here. Thank you.